Welcome back, family. Lancescurv here. I'm going to talk about something that we need to talk about that's happening all over America. And it's not just black men, it's everybody. All men, for the most part. But one of the reasons why I focus on black issues as it pertains to the mainstream is that we may get a little acknowledgement in the mainstream media, but there's always those little bits of areas that we don't seem to get covered in unique situations, okay? So I speak a lot about mainstream stuff as it pertains to me. And black men these days, there is no one way to be a black man. We have many black men who are just, it's a wide range, but a great amount of them, great amount of us, and I'll include myself in that, and maybe not every point because my life is unique and just this one topic is not going to cover everybody completely. It's like being 8 foot tall or 8 feet tall and you have a 6 foot cover when you're laying in the bed and it's cold outside or inside too. So you try to cover your head and your feet are exposed. You try to cover your feet and your head's exposed. Well, what do you do for that? You curl up in a ball and you're covered. But how long can you maintain that? How long can you maintain the restrictions and expectations that society puts on us, especially when there are a lot of stereotypes and a lot of assumptions that are put on us? And it's like, well, if you're going to think this about us anyway, well, I'm not going to play the game. You know, I'm a well-rounded individual. Many may not think so because I focus on certain topics. But then can you expect Chinese news platforms to focus on things going on in Poland unless it has something to do with it? So don't put that weight on me from something that I know well, and nobody can tell me that I don't know it because I've been under this category and I'm proud of it all my life. I've been wearing this garment, I've been wearing this skin, I've been creating reactions from other people who have certain prejudiced things in their head and they assume that I'm this certain way and they put it on me and react. You see what I mean? I'm just choosing my words carefully. It is kind of late. I sat down on the couch here in my studio and I didn't doze off. I just got into the zone. And I figured, well, maybe I won't do it tonight. But after a while, maybe 20 minutes of just disconnecting where that felt good, I didn't think of anything in particular. I already had my notes ready, everything ready. I could have done this in the morning time, which I'm 5 hours ahead of the East Coast time here in West Africa, right? So I want to speak on something that I call the quiet withdrawal of black men away from the chaos. The quiet withdrawal of black men away from the chaos. One aspect of it, and I don't really speak about that aspect tonight, and I will another time, is that even in the dating world with black people, black men, black women, many of the men are just saying it's not worth it. These standards, which people can achieve, but these standards of you having to be 7 feet tall, over 6 feet, making six figures, having your condo or your mansion that's paid for already, and maybe 2 or 3 luxury cars, and you know, giving your girlfriend or the one you're dating a stipend, an allowance, and keeping her hair done and keeping her nails done. And if she's got several kids, you got to take care of them too. And you better be a Superman lover, even though you have to work hard for your money. All of these expectations. Now, I'm not saying that that's what this is all about. I just want to throw that in there because if I spoke about that, we'd be here all night from what I'm hearing, because I'm off of the playing field. I'm not in the dating world, but I'm affiliated with it closely because friends of mine are still there, and I still have to hear their stories, and I still will give advice. So that's what it is. I'm still connected. Just because, say, for example, you're a great-grandmother, you hear what happens with your great-grandchildren and give advice because you lived that life. So I jotted down, how many points did I jot down? This is not going to be long. I'm real laid back about this, and I just want to start a conversation and really bring to mind mindset, a certain aspect of life for us, and not all of us as black men, because many of us are not there. Many of us we haven't had the full range of experiences to want to just clock out. We're not saying quitting, no, but we have to heal. So let me get into my notes. I'm going to read them off, and I'm going to add some things in, and at the end of the notes, I'm going to talk a little more, because we're having a conversation here, and this is laid back. And this is the format that I really like to do, where we are really discussing things. And I do love all of the other style of live shows, and any guests want to come on and talk about something or pick a topic. Like I said, I will talk about anything. I have been through pretty much everything, and if I didn't go through it, I observed it through other people close to me or just near me. But I've been through a lot, and I've always been a deep thinker when it comes to different situations, whether it was me or not. So let's get with it. Right now, a lot of black men in America are quietly stepping back from the world's expectations. There are no protests, no riots, just silence. Men are realizing that the path society promised them, success, respect, and stability, often comes at the cost of their peace, mental health, and happiness. This LanceScurv piece breaks down why so many black men feel trapped, the pressures they face, and the steps they are taking to reclaim their lives, redefine success, and find true freedom on their own terms. So now we're going to get into the bulleted points, right? Number 1, the quiet withdrawal. Many black men are slowly disconnecting from society's demands. This isn't laziness. It's a choice to protect their health and peace. Instead of joining protests or causing drama, they are quietly stepping back, whether at home, in their communities, or in everyday life. This is their way of taking control of their own lives in a world that often asks too much and gives little in return. And this is so true. There are many black men who don't do enough. There are many black men that don't do what they're supposed to do. But there's some of us who do. And some of the prior rules of manhood, which I'll explain later, put us in a place where we're not appreciated for what we do over and above. And for many women, they may feel that they don't know anybody like that, but we're out here. We're out here on the jobs. We're out here sacrificing. I can tell you, I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life for various relationships that were major relationships, right? The other craziness didn't count, but it taught me a whole lot also. And you can have someone in your life that really doesn't appreciate you for all that you sacrifice for, when you could be doing a whole lot of other things that, to me, would be a waste of time. A lot of us, this is not about the pendulum swinging the other way and us not wanting to be with somebody or be out of a relationship or demonizing women. But it's like, well, can I have myself to myself for a while? Can I have some quiet time to myself? Many of us as black men, we lose ourselves and our sense of self. The things we used to do, we don't do anymore. Now, of course, if you're a person who played basketball all day on a Saturday and you're 70 years old, well, maybe your knees may not hold up. I don't know. But maybe you still want to go to the court and do what you want to do. There are things that I still want to do and will do and can do in due time, and I'm going to do them. I got a one-wheel bike sitting over there staring at me. You know I ride a unicycle, right? Been riding a unicycle from like 6, 7 years old. I like riding my unicycle. At 62 years old, it's going to look strange, but I like the balance. I like the challenge and the part of my brain that holds me up. And this is why I have excellent balance. It's hard to knock me down, right? When I see you coming. But the hobby of drawing, I love that. For many years, even while on social media, I slowed that down almost to a halt. I love the tranquility of that. I don't have the issue of having to take back my life because my life is where it should be and where I want it to be. And I'm happy with that. But all I'm saying, I'm referring to these things. In my case, if I was thinking about the pressures of being a man, and it doesn't mean you're giving up and not wanting to be a man, but what society says manhood is that you have to, and I'm going to get into those points, so I don't want to go too far ahead of myself. But when do we have the time to do the things that we want to do once we take care of the responsibilities that we're supposed to take care of? In our own situation, you might be single, you may not have as many responsibilities as a man who is married with children, and he should not have any complaints about that, right? But if he has a spouse that doesn't appreciate, and she's basically living a single life or out there with her girlfriends with you, working double shifts, and there's a lot of things. So each situation is different. These bulleted points are not a one-size-fits-all situation. So please don't scold me or come down on me if it seems to be a certain way. And if you have an issue with anything I say, leave it in the comment section. Hit me up on my email, lance@lancescurv.com, and I will respond. I'll respond with a video or directly to you. Number 2, pressure to be a man. From a young age, black men are taught to be tough, strong, and providers. They are told never to show weakness, always to succeed, and to keep going no matter what. These rules can feel impossible. They tie a man's value to money, jobs, and what he can give to others. When life doesn't reward that hard work, the stress becomes overwhelming. Because you see, life is not always going to reward that hard work, and you look to your loved ones, you look to your peers, you look to the ones around you to reinforce the fact that they can see what kind of person you are. And when you seem to be isolated or underappreciated as a man, and especially as a black man in this society, with all the stereotypes hanging over our head, when you're a good man and you do the right thing and you're damn near Superman. You see, we're taught to be tough, strong, and providers. I have a father. He was deceased from November of 1990, and I say have because I'm still connected to him. I still speak to him every day, just like I speak to my mother. Now, maybe if I hear an answer back as far as a voice is concerned, I'd jump out the back door. But what I mean that the rhythms that he set forth in me, the timing, the rhythms, the thoughts, I still vibe with that. It's almost like the show years ago on TV, I think back in the 70s, Kung Fu. And I think David Carradine was in it, the actor. I think he had a tragic kind of end. I'm not sure if that's the same guy that did the suicide thing. But he would, as a grown man, he would have flashbacks from his teacher that used to call him Grasshopper, little Grasshopper, so and so. I have those moments. Sometimes I'm here and I'm just zoned out because I have to purposely do that because my mind is always working so fast. So I'll say, okay, I'm taking 20 minutes, I'm going out on the balcony and look over the mountains and just sit there and just let my mind go wherever it wants to go. Let it just, not that it's detoxing, but it's disengaging, pulling away from, so that I can still have more energy to do what I'm doing. Because like I said just a little while ago, I thought I was going to go to sleep. And then something said, hey, get up and just vibe. And that level of relaxation that I got to is making it easier to let the thoughts flow right now like you're sitting in front of me. You know what I mean? So I got to be in my zone to do that, right? But that pressure to never show weakness. See, my father never put that on me, right? You better be tough. You can't cry. That's foolishness because you'll break. You know how many black men have mental issues because of the standard that's put on them? and you got to ease into it. You just can't do this, do that. You're a man now. You have a penis. You're 18 years old. Get out there and do. What about the men who had never had an example? What about the black men who had poor examples of manhood? Right? So you young ladies, when you are dating a man, don't always look for him to be the complete package, because we still stumble and fall. Like I said, understand who he is, his upbringing, and who were his role models, who were his influences. What if he didn't have a father? What if the father he had wasn't interested and was just interested after work and just going to the bar or womanizing, right? So when you know these things, and you're not going to ask him to come with a clipboard and say, okay, let me go down the list. You observe, you have conversations. It takes time for people to open up. But when you see certain deficiencies or certain things that should have been mandatorily there and they're not there, then you know the areas in which to anticipate maybe a shortcoming in manhood. And do you want to deal with it? You don't have to raise a man, but do you want to deal with the fact, does he have enough good qualities that one deficiency or two deficiencies, where one may be major, one may be minor, but you see so much good in him, not potential, but something actually happening right now. And those other factors, it's like getting a used car, right? It may have a blown engine. Do you want to invest in that, right? It may have a dent in the side that you can fix easily. It may have a radiator problem that you can replace and get a new radiator if you don't mind doing that at the price that you're buying it for. So you have to weigh these factors out. And so this is not about getting on the women, but many complain after the fact, but they didn't do their due diligence in going down to check their own personal checklist of what a good man is. They may have taken him into their lives and into their womb too early. You made the choice. Don't complain later on. A lot of us are broken. A lot of us are like that gadget that you bought and you took it home from the appliance store and it was missing something in the box. And you got to go back and get that. So be careful of the choices that you make. Many of us are still a work in progress, right? Number 3, moving goalposts of success. Society now expects men to be emotionally available, nurturing, and equal partners on top of all their old responsibilities. This mix of old and new expectations can be exhausting. Black men often feel like they must work twice as hard to meet impossible standards while still trying to take care of family and community. Well, me reading off this note that I jotted down, and yes, it is hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Reminded me of Karen White's song from back in 1987-88, I believe. I'm not your superwoman. See, women can say that, from the demands when they're stressed. It's almost acceptable when they say, listen, I'm overwhelmed, I need to take a break. I'm not going to banish from my family, but things are getting a little bit overwhelming. I need help. I need understanding. I need to talk. Well, see, men don't have that option because many of us are afraid to look weak with the demands that are put on us and the standards that are put on us. So we're not going to express any emotion. It is tough to be all of that and to deal with the racism in the world and the low expectations on certain levels, but yet you're still expected to go over and above. And I don't mean you have to get this every time, but every now and then a reassuring word. If you're not in a relationship, brothers, and a reassuring word from other brothers, your sisters in your family, your brothers in your family, and if you're hearing this, say a kind word to a brother because he might be going through a whole lot of things. There are times, and like I said, I have gone through a lot emotionally in my life. Okay, put it this way. I got a brother out there I haven't seen since 1998, and that was a chance meeting on, 6th Avenue and 28th Street. I'm walking down the street and saw him, right? Before that, it was 1993, I think it was. And that was his own story, My father passed away in 1990. My mother passed away in 94. So in the back of my mind, I'm by myself. You see what I mean? I have children, right? But in the back of my mind for that period before all of that happened, I'm by myself. And that's my wiring, that I'm the sole survivor. Because my brother had a different father. My mother was a pretty young thing, straight out of Juilliard School of Music, from Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. She was born in Virginia, but she didn't know the rules of the street. Now, she didn't get involved with a street guy. It was a detective, right? Even more impressive. So he, got to her, and my brother came to be. That's the honest truth. And I love him, but I'm the only product of my mother and my father, right? And I'm technically an only child. And my brother is 11 years older than me. And I'm saying all this for a reason. So he was never really around, and he got into the drugs in the street and was always that way. I was a young nerd who learned to be tough and get my muscles, and had my father as a role model, which I thank God for every day, as well as my mother. But in my mind, I'm the only model. I don't have any brothers or sisters that I can look at and say, we came from the same loins. You know what I mean? That's a special feeling. I never had that, right? So in my mind, I got to make sure that I got to make it. I have to be strong. It's a unique position to be in. I have a big family that I lost contact with. I never really had the chance to have contact with because on my mother's side, they're older or the same ages, but they're way out there. And we were in New York City, isolated from those in Jamaica and in the rest of the country. And when my brother stole that book that had all my mother's addresses in it to go beg money to go smoke his stuff, I really had no way of contacting anybody when she passed away. So that really isolated me, that the people that I know of in my distant memory growing up that we had some sort of connection to, and everybody goes on, you know how that is. They're good friends that you had when you were teenagers, and now you're like, man, I don't even know where they are. I can't even slowly but surely life pulls you. So I'm to me, like an orphan in the world. So that in itself is a pressure because I can't slip up. I'm the sole survivor. That's how I'm wired, right? For me, I don't have nobody to reach out to like that. That's blood like that. Many good brothers and sisters in my life that may not be, right? They fulfill that, but it would be nice, right? So for me, I took things harder than most people because I don't have any blood backup like that. The only one is my brother, and I know he's still alive, and that's all I know. I don't know anything else. I keep checking the Social Security death index. That's the reality, to see if he's still alive, So if I'm 62, he should be 73. Yeah, 73. So some people do drugs all their life and they live long. It's crazy. It's crazy how that is. I don't know how I got on this topic, but I guess it's going to make sense. And I know you like it when I open up and talk and share certain things, right? Number 4, economic hardship. Stable jobs that built the middle class are disappearing. Many men face layoffs, automation, and low-paying jobs. Financial stress hits hard in the Black community, increasing anxiety and making it harder to maintain mental and emotional health. It's no wonder some men quietly check out to survive. I've seen that. It's like a boxing match where one of the boxers is getting beat so bad or an accumulation of blows, he just turns around and just doesn't want to fight anymore. And many men are broken like that. And it's not like they're weak. They tried. They pushed hard for years and years and years. And one day they're like, is this really worth it? And like I said, in this, automation, layoffs, and low-paying jobs, we have AI coming. And many of us don't realize the impact that it's going to have on our world. Just a few weeks ago, there were 300,000 Black women laid off of their jobs. with different big corporations and companies, just mainstream America. Tens, hundreds of thousands of people are getting laid off from their jobs. And the thing is, I get another job. But it's like musical chairs. Those jobs are going to be taken away. So how do you rectify? How do you deal with this? That kind of stress over your head. You get to a certain age. And even though you might be vibrant, and I was speaking to a friend the other day, he said, man, Lance, all that writing and editing and stuff you do, I said, listen, that's the extra stuff. That's not dealing with the stuff in the house and the fact that I moved to a new country, right? It's not a stress for me, but you can feel it. There's things you got to do. And I took to Ghana like a duck to water, but you can put me anywhere. That I'm not going to lie. It really doesn't stress me. Once I see how things are and it's a new rhythm, it's like learning a new dance, in a different culture. It takes a little time, but you'll get it. And the personal successes that I've enjoyed, I draw from that. And I tell myself, whatever it is that needs to be done to get me there, if somebody else can do it, and all the things I've overcome before, I have no problem. It's not comfortable to rewire yourself or get new rhythms or relocate to a different country. But when you learn to not be in your comfort zone all the time, right? Or don't accept the seduction of a couch that's so comfortable, a home that's beautiful, the accomplishments, no matter what, no matter how much of a champion in life and whatever area of expertise that you're in, you need to know that you need to crave to be out of your comfort zone a certain percentage, okay? It doesn't mean you have to be out of it completely. Enjoy what you've earned, but also understand that keeping in touch with not being comfortable is where your growth is going to come from. That's what I've learned personally, right? So with the economic hardships that will come, especially in this time, I mean, if you look back in when the C-19 came around and we had to wear the mask, that was a test run on change that's upcoming, and it's going to be more severe. And when I say test run, that was to see, even though a lot of people were clocked out of here because of it, and it wasn't because of what they said it was because of what was, okay? Maybe I said a little too much. Let's hope this video is not knocked down. But that was to test the reactions of people being corralled off and away from each other, the social distancing, the isolation. That was a study en masse for what's yet to come. Trust and believe. See, so we need to know how to master ourselves. We need to know how to go lean and not blow off the money that we have foolishly. I'm purposely doing that right now. I got coins here. I got a whole handful of coins. I'm not going to pick them all up, right? But I can't say I pinch pennies because it's not pennies anymore that I deal with. But of the Ghanaian currency, I'm learning how to navigate where to buy what at a better price, how to move. I'm not driving. And right now I don't miss it because I'm home most of the time. But I've molded my life to benefit me in practice for economic hardships that may come. I'm not free and clear. I got a bank account that's in America. My money goes through America. What happens if there's some type of internet shutdown, right? Then I'm up Craps Creek, so I got to make sure that I can sustain myself here with no money at all, right? The best thing with your overhead is if you can reduce it to as almost nothing. If it takes you $4,000 or $5,000 a month to maintain your life, try to split it in half. Me years ago, cutting my hair off was an economic decision. I was going to the barber too much. I'm like, I'm not going to spend all this money. It's unnecessary. Over and over and over. No. And there's other things. There's certain foods I cut out purposely. Some things I still treat myself to when I see I can. But I try to stay in control of myself so that any hardship that comes from the outside world, I'll master it because I'm harder on myself. I'm more strict with myself. There's nothing that I can lose as far as amenities are concerned that's going to make me freak out because I'm trying to reduce my overhead as far as money is concerned until It's next to nothing. If you can go from 1,000, you knock out your mortgage. We did that immediately when we moved here. So there's no mortgage, right? We just build until to our liking. Everything's paid for. So that knocks all of that out. So now it's really low. But if you keep going lower and lower and lower and grow your own food, cook your own food, that's a must. We've been doing that, but even more so. The things you like, right? Know how to treat yourself without having to go out to a restaurant all the time. Become your best cook. Different things that I'll be speaking about. But economic hardship, when it's something immediate that happens, when you get laid off and fired and your whole world is smashed, you get up and you go to work, everything's cool, and you come out of there with a pink slip and your whole world changes now. I don't like that and I don't want that. And that's coming for a lot of people all over the world, right? Number 5, the man box trap. Men are taught to hide their emotions and always perform strength. Vulnerability is often seen as weakness. This constant act of being tough wears a person down. Depression, anger, and isolation often go unnoticed because society expects men to bear it alone. And many of us as men expect to bear it alone, and many of us want to bear it alone because we think and subscribe to we have to perform strength all the time and be this tough Superman that if we wanted to share our discomforts and pains with somebody, we get embarrassed. We don't want to say anything, right? I don't care. I'll talk. I don't talk with everybody, but I'll talk. I have people in my life that I can vent out to. Thank God for that, right? And you need that. And I'll say, listen, I'm a nice guy. I'm considerate. I'm not quick to want to come to blows. But I will say I am one of the toughest men that I know when it comes to sacrifice and discipline and pushing forward. That's not talking tough. I'm a proven product to myself. It takes a lot to do what we've done out here. Solo, LanceScurv and I, solo. And to go through different changes in life that I know I've overcome. It's made me tough, but I'm not a tough man where I'm walking around here, I'm tough. What I mean is that I know I'm durable. You see certain car companies, they are known for durability, longevity. Toyota, even though every now and then every car company has to recall a vehicle and recall all these thousands of vehicles, people know Toyota, that's going to last a long time when you take care of it. Those cars last, right? Some American vehicles, most don't last like Toyotas and different types, right? And they've had their mishaps, but I'm proven to myself that way. So I don't look for like big challenges, like I'm going to embarrass myself and try to do something crazy. But as life hits me, I look it square in the eye. I refer back to the past of what I've been through. And I say, okay, I can handle this. And if it's something more, I'll embrace it because I know it's growing pains. At one time you were crawling. One time you couldn't even crawl. You're laying down on the ground. And then you start to crawl. And then you hold yourself up on the coffee table or by the couch and say, okay, I'm going to try to walk. And guess what? You walked and fell. You cried. You kept trying because the couple of steps you took felt so good. So this is how life is. And so, we get caught in that man box and we feel bad as men deep down. And the world will shame you. The world will keep on demanding. Your world will keep demanding because that's the way men is. You're the man. You're this. And you know that. But sometimes you need to take a step back. Who allows you that? You're not a machine, right? Number 6, isolation and loneliness. Many black men have few people they feel they can trust with their struggles. They are less likely to seek support from friends or family. Yet solitude, when embraced intentionally, can be powerful. It allows men to reconnect with themselves, their interests, and their priorities, building strength from within. Let me tell you, where we used to live in Orlando, Florida, Mrs. Scurv and I, this is not down the block. This is a far away place from Orlando, Florida. I already made the transition from New York City, right, to Florida. But coming from Florida here and the culture, it's a big difference. She travels more than I do. So when she does travel, guess who's here by himself? Guess who's isolated, right? But it's a thing of solitude for me. I get more done. Not that she's a distraction, but I can really, and I won't say selfishly, but just completely zone into what I must do, my own thoughts, my own care, what I have to do, and it's made me even stronger at this age. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you embrace the challenges that are in front of you, because even though I may not be the man I was at 20 years old or 22 years old physically, because I thought I was Superman back then, right now, my inner, the wisdom, the strength, the inner strength, the deepest of thoughts and the enhanced perspectives that come with time when you press it. And what I mean press it, just press seeking out truth and wisdom and understanding. Because some people and some men, they live a life where it's just the pursuit of pleasure, where they're not getting anywhere. Because the pursuit of pleasure is not going to get you anywhere. You can get pleasure, right? But we know that pain and pleasure are two of the most highly motivating forces in the world. If you don't balance them out right, you're screwed. I don't want too much pleasure. I want to earn my pleasure, right? It makes the pleasure sweeter when you earn it. Bottom line. And my mind is going to all kind of places, but anyway, let me say it this way. We're adults. And I've said this before. Look at the act of intercourse between a man and a woman. What, you're bringing up sex again. What do you mean by that? No, but look at it this way. You have to earn your pleasure. Dogs in the street that are procreating, you see them there hunching and doing their thing. To keep it decent, when a man enters a woman, is when he pushes in that he feels pleasure. Now, if you want to replicate that, you're going to have to move out. Not all the way, but move out to push in again. So you're earning your pleasure. It forces you into motion. So as a man in the world, if you want to make your pleasure that you get from the union of you and your woman or whoever, you need to earn it by being more of a man. And I don't mean being under pressure, but being more of a man by seeking growth and not always being in your comfort zone. Some men want the pleasure all the time, and it destroys them as men because they don't want to do the things that are required of a man within balance. Now, I'm very careful to say within balance because I'm speaking about, the quiet withdrawal, where you get overwhelmed and it's too much and the world just sucks you out and you have nothing left for yourself. That's not good for you. You see what I mean? So that's what I mean. You have to earn it. Number 7, the disposable man. Black men are often expected to sacrifice themselves for others, in jobs, in families, in society. Their lives can feel expendable. That's a hollow place to be. This teaches men that they are valued only for what they do, not for who they are. Recognizing this is part of stepping back and taking control of one's life. And that's all it is, stepping back and taking control of your life. In boxing, you fight for 3 minutes and you take 1 minute as a rest. You get your instruction, your redirection, you catch your breath, and okay, we go at it again. In America, you work 5 days, you take 2 days off. A lot of jobs not like that. Some people working 7 days a week. But everything is a balance. You go to the gym and work out. You do a set of exercises with the weights. You don't just go straight through the whole thing. You do so many reps to failure. If you go to failure, you catch your breath, not too much now, right? And don't get distracted and start a conversation. You still have to press it, but you still need to take back control of your balance and not burn yourself out. That's the bottom line. Number 8, social media pressures. Oh, this is a good one. Platforms show impossible images of success and masculinity. Black men are compared to curated lives that few can match. The result is stress and frustration. Choosing peace over performance helps men step off the treadmill of constant comparison. And this happens to women too. Just kids, children, old folks. The constant comparison of these people who may be successful in these ways. But many people are not as successful as they portray. And they make sure they constantly show that nobody's going to say the bad side. That nobody's going to get online or get on Instagram or TikTok. My checks bounced today. I had 3 checks that bounced today. And I'm in overdraft right now. I don't get paid for 2 weeks, and I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't have much cash on me. They're not going to say that. When things are looking good or they can have a chance to front, many people now, they put that out, and many of us see it and say, oh man, they're doing real good. But we didn't have this ability to compare ourselves back in the day anyway. We only went by what we saw around us in our neighborhood, but these countless hundreds and thousands of people, strangers that are putting up this stuff, and life is good, and if it is, more power to you. Life is good for me right now, but in my own way, with my own set of standards. My life might be lowly to somebody else, right? In the transition to manifesting the vision of this home and all the things that go along with it. So, oh, he's nothing. He's got nothing. Well, what I have is what I have. And I'm content where I am because incrementally I'm getting better week by week. It's like those old Polaroid pictures that you snap the picture, you don't see anything, and you wave it around and you start to see the image of you on there. It takes time. Some people can't wait. They got to show something fake right now at the expense of their peace of mind, because once they start that and keep going with it, it's hard to stop. I'm on social media, but I'm not into any fronting at all. I will tell you how it is. Excuse me, I dropped my face rag on my foot, so I'm still going to use it. It ain't dirty. Yeah. Number 9, choosing to stop playing the game. The quiet rebellion begins when men decide not to play by a rigged system's rules. This choice isn't giving up. It's taking care of their mental health and protecting their lives from a system that asks too much for too little. I was going to say too late, because it is getting late and I'm not falling asleep, but I'm seeing different words that are there. So I'll say that last sentence again. It's taking care of their mental health and protecting their lives from a system that asks too much for too little. Too much for too little. We feel stripped out. If we can only give 5, the system will ask for 8. If we can only give 3, the system will ask for 5. If we can only give 25, the system will ask for 57. It's always us catching up. And even if we are on top of things, we still have the feeling of having to catch up, because social media makes our desires explode, where what we have, we're never content with. I'm not saying that's the way it is for you, but for many people, and I observe this, I see this all my life, even before social media, it made it worse. You sitting here in good health, a good home. Yeah, you want to make more money, but don't let that be your God. But you're never happy because you feel you're always reaching for something. I saw this new sports car. I saw this new iPhone. I saw this new BBL. Not me. I'm just saying women say that, right? Oh, I think there are men that do that too. I don't know nothing about that, right? That's not my battle. But we're always reaching for something that is beyond us. And time is going by. Listen, y'all, I always keep an eye on my age. Just like I watch the time, when it's time to watch the time, because I don't like clocks either. I only use it as a measurement to know, okay, I'm getting so much done before this time comes. And once I disengage from content creation of the projects in this house, I don't want to see a clock. I just, look, you see animals out there looking at clocks? The sun comes up, the sun goes down. They don't know, oh, today's Sunday. You never see a rabbit out there, to a cat, it's Sunday today. The cat say, really? Brr, no. Every day is a different day. And to simplify your life. Simplify your life. That's the biggest thing. And this system will have you getting more and more complicated until you're like, it's too much. You can't even enjoy a moment in the present because you're thinking about the future. Now look, you're supposed to plan and think about the future, right? But we're thinking about it in ways that are not productive. And then we're either escaping to the past that's not going to help us unless there's a lesson in the past for us. But so many people, I miss the past, I miss the past. I miss certain aspects of friends that I've known that have passed away but it's not going to go back to that. Recreate something better in the present. What is it about the past that you love? Just recreate it in the present as much as you can. And know that things evolve. Look, most of the times, when we say the good old days, when the good old days were happening, we didn't know they were the good old days. So today could be the good old days that you think about in the future, and you say, man, remember back in 2025? Those were the good old days. And it's not like you're not going to go through rough times, because lots of times when you think about your good old days, you had some rough things going on, but you quickly forget them. You might be reminded through a song or reminded through something, but we quickly forget the discomfort, The school, when you're in school, you didn't like school, you didn't like a certain teacher, I can't wait to get out of here. It's done with. Whatever you're going through now will one day be the past. Focus on the good, right? Let me see here. Okay, number 9, choosing. Did I say this one already? Oh yeah, I said that one already. Number 10, redefining winning. Winning isn't about money, possessions, or status. It's about wanting less. And what I said, living simpler and prioritizing, I'm jacking up my words, prioritizing peace. You can't get away from that. So all you who are, you got to pay your bills. But you just want money. Got to get money. It's all about money, money, money. And then you don't know what to do with it, or you blow it, then you don't have it no more. Now you feel stupid. Get it, but be within balance. But live as simple as you can. I'm living so simple right now. I love it. I don't feel the pressures that American society put on me. I didn't freak out because of it. I handled it quite well. But I don't want it. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that. It's just sucks you dry. It just leaves you lifeless. You have to fight to hold on to whatever peace of mind, whatever tranquility, whatever sense of self. That world snatches your sense of self. You're walking around sometime, you don't even know who you are anymore. That is the worst. So when I'm sitting here drawing a picture or writing something or sitting here talking to you with no pressure, even when I was in Orlando and I was working, the pressure, like we're supposed to work, okay, in the system. We got to get money, okay? I understand it. I was never one to not want to do. You can ask Mrs. Scurv. I'll work. And you know what? I don't expect nothing back from it. Now that goes along with what we shouldn't do. But what I'm saying is that I made money and I didn't even like money. Here, this is, let it pay the bills. I'm like, can I save this? Yeah, we saved. We did things with it constructive and wisely, but it wasn't like, all this stuff falling between my hands, coins and money. Where's it going? Oh my God, I gotta get, no. Let it pay the bills. The extra, let it sit. I don't care. As long as it's there when I need it. Right? But the money, possessions, and status. Wanting less, living simpler, and prioritizing peace. I never had a problem with that word before. Black men are learning that true success comes from controlling their time and energy, choosing commitments that bring meaning, not just appearances. The energy of the people around you. Is it something that's meaningful for you, or is it superficial? Is it something that's fake? Is it something that you do for some kind of status, or I don't know, some kind of weird obligation, or some kind of, I don't know. If you got bad energy, if I know you can't stand me, if I know you want to wish me bad or something bad, or you just want to be nosy and just see, I don't want you around me. Plain and simple. It's not hard to say no. I don't want to hang around this person. I'm not going to reach out because of some weird, I don't know. People keep up weird relationships that drain them. I want to know me more if I don't know me. Today I was singing songs in here. I'm laughing. I'm rehashing old jokes, not living in the past, but playing some songs. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a stupid story. Back in 1980, when I used to train at the Powerhouse Gym on Liberty Avenue on 131st Street that was owned by my friend Junior Juan Rivera, rest his soul, he had me run the gym. I was free around the time, and I said, okay, I'll look at it for you. He did little favors for me because he was just starting out. And the radio would always be playing and stuff, and Diana Ross, Upside Down, would always come on because it was a hit around that time. And in the daytime, the gym was kind of empty. You know, people were still at work and everything. And with the mirrors and the windows and stuff, you can see people walk. You can look through the mirror a certain way, sitting way back, and see way down the block. So today, I was imitating this guy's walk while the song was going on, because every time that song would come on, here he comes. And he had a certain walk, right? And the other guys in the gym, you know, I'm famous for making names for people, changing around the words of songs. That's maybe a part of me you don't know. I've been doing this for a long time, all my life. And I nicknamed him the Upside Down Man because he was bent over so much. It was like he was trying to make himself upside down. And that beat of the song, dun, 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 upside down. Boy, you turn me inside out and round. And it says a part, respectfully you give to me the love that I need. He always begged, hey, Lance, man, let me get a half. Meaning $50, right? So he'd catch me and my pockets were jingling out. Here, man, here you go. You go straight to the liquor store. After a while, you see him way down the block. You're like, let me get out of here. You know, I wasn't scared of him, but it's just like he didn't want to be bothered. So in the song, I said, respectfully, you give to me the halves that I need. I cherish each quarter you give. And all the guys in the gym, Manny and Mike and Joey, they would say, I saw your friend today, man, the Upside Down, man. I would always make fun, not of people, but the times in the present. If you're around me now, we're going to have a good time. That's the way I live. I'm spontaneous. The jokes, the good times, the names. I imitate people the way they walk, not to knock them, but I'm good that way. I got some weird talents and abilities, and I can soak in things really quick. So it's like we said here, you know, choosing commitments that bring meaning, not just appearances. You'll enjoy my company, and I'm quite sure I can make myself enjoy your company if you're open to, you know, just living simpler, enjoying the lighter moments. And in my life, because of that factor and that ability, I was just texting with my friend Angela. We were talking about old songs from the 70s. You just, every moment is a joy and every moment is wonderful. And I'm sitting out here where people come and complain about, well, I left America and I'm out here in Ghana now and they ain't got this and they ain't got that. And the people will be begging you and they're going to try to, listen, you don't know yourself then. You're not in control of yourself then. You have the last say so in how things go in your life. And that's the way I am. I know what it is that I want. I know what it is that I need. I know I'm not going to get all my wants, but I know my needs, and I know that if something's going to happen, I have to put it in motion. If I get hit with a blow, I'm not saying punches out here where I am, it's peaceful, but it's because I didn't keep my guard up. It's on me. It's not just, oh, you just step into a place and it's bliss. It's bliss. Ghana is bliss for me because I made it bliss for me, right? I'm not going to sit here and show the world that I'm not in control of myself and all I'm doing is complaining. What am I complaining about? Right? No, change it. Change the way you see it. And it'll work. You know? Did I speak number 11 already? Okay, let me see. I got so much in my head now. Okay, here it is. I'll say it again if I did. 11, finding strength in solitude. No, I didn't say that one. Being alone doesn't have to feel bad. Solitude gives space to think, grow, and enjoy life without pressure or judgment. Men can rediscover, and women too, hobbies, passions, and values, building mental and emotional strength that society rarely allows them to develop. It's a very important line I wrote, building mental and emotional strength that society rarely allows them to develop. When you're running the rat race, you don't have time to develop your emotional and mental strength. It's just constantly being drained. It's like me taking your cell phone that was very low on a charge and you put it on the charger, and as soon as it gets to 20%, I unplug the charger. Now you're sleeping thinking, oh, my cell phone is going to be, my smartphone's going to be charged to 100%, and you wake up, it's only at 20%. That's how the system never allows you to fully charge. As a matter of fact, it should be overflowing. Saturation with your lessons of self and who you are and your emotional strength and your mental strength, and having the time to rest, and like I said, the luxury of having time to be bored. That's the biggest thing that we lost now. Maybe you don't understand it, but one day you'll understand what I'm trying to say. The luxury of being bored, because that's when you recharge the fastest. You're cleaning away certain things, the clutter in your mind. If you can be bored pretty much on a regular basis, I'm not saying be bored 6 hours a day, but if you can find time to sit here and say, I'm a little bored right now, but let me just sit here and just, be. We had more of that when we were children. We didn't have as much responsibilities, depending on how our childhood was. Some people have had rough childhoods, and I understand. But the older we get, maybe it's us too sabotaging ourselves because we feel we have to always push. And many of us as black men feel that way because we feel we're at a deficient, even if we are ahead on the scorecards, we feel like we're behind. We got to prove more, be tougher. Don't do stuff for ourselves. You got to take yourself out shopping, man, sometime. I don't mean splurge with thousands and thousands, but take a day when you can, and I've said this for women also. I wrote an article about when was the last time you took yourself out on a date. I'm going to see if I can find a link for it and put it here. But you have to have time to yourself and with yourself. You know that you are mentally getting there. When you're by yourself, say for example at home, and you can find yourself laughing to yourself, something funny, an old joke, some situation. Like today, I was cracking up in here. I was imitating that guy. His name is Barry. He's deceased, God rest his soul. The one he used to beg me for 50 cents at a time. How long ago was that? That was 1980. That was 45 years ago. Wow, time flies. And I heard the song and I put it on repeat, right? I must have played it like 7 times. I'm sitting here walking around like him, singing the song. That was good for me. And at the end of the day, you've laughed, you've thought of things, you did your work that you have to do, whatever it may be, to improve your life, and you earn your sleep. And you almost fight sleep in a way, because me, I'm weird. I love to fight fatigue. It makes me high. I don't know. Some people take drugs to get high. And that's why I would always kind of stay up late. And right now, I'm probably going to stay up a little later tonight and see if I can work to get this up, but probably not because the fatigue has hit me hard. But I'm in bliss because I had a full, productive day. We did the show with Neil. I did the video outside. I did some stuff around the house. I did this one, and I'm doing this one, and I'm ready for tomorrow because there's other things I want to cover, other perspectives I want to do, different types of content because that's my hobby. And I'm fulfilled. I'm saturated. The pressure's off. Living simple. No pressure to perform for somebody else, to prove to somebody else that I can keep up with the Joneses. I'm in my own world that way. More power to you when you find your happiness. I found my balance in a way. And there's more. But remember, you don't always want to remain in the comfort zone. See, I'm happy out of the comfort zone also. Not just, I'm happy because I have, no. It's not about have, because you will lose, you will gain. Sometimes we lose it all. There have been times in my life I've lost it all. There have been times in my life I had an abundance of money. all in between. I'm not saying I was a millionaire, but, I had some fun times, I'll tell you that much. And it brought me to understand what the sour is. That's why my own personal saying, you have to understand and embrace the sour in order to appreciate what's sweet. How do you know what's sweet unless you taste it sour, right? That's how it is. It's the rough times and the challenging times and the times that help you to grow that make you appreciate things when it's sweet. And when it's too sweet or gets real sweet, you still kind of back away like, okay, we don't need all the sweetness because there may be other times coming where I have to sacrifice. So I just take a little bite, right? Let me go on to the next one. Number 12, authenticity over performance. Men often wear masks to appear strong or successful. I know a few of those. The quiet rebellion is about taking those masks off. When men are honest with themselves and a few trusted people, relationships deepen. It's better to have a few real connections than many shallow ones. I've always had real connections, but I have to admit that I've had a lot of shallow ones also that didn't even need to be there. And I don't know. People think that sometimes the more people they have around them, the better. Everybody's not real, right? When you trim back and you prune back many of the people who are not what they appear to be, and that comes with time, that comes with discerning the spirits, and just them revealing themselves. You'll get those moments. Then you know there's no loss when they go away. As a matter of fact, it gives you more time to yourself, more quality time with the people who really are concerned with you. And I'll say this. Let me see something here. Okay, that's the next one that Boxer Terrence Crawford, who beat Canelo Alvarez recently in September. I saw a little YouTube short on him. It was so true what he said. He said, listen, he says he has all of these social media fans. He has so many people that follow him. Champ, I love you. Man, I'll do this for you. I'll do that. I'll give my heart for you, man. And he said, that's cool that they say that. But he understands that what really counts is who in his inner circle, right? The people that he loves, his family, his children, the ones he knows that are proven, that are close up on him. And you'll still find some rotten apples close up on you, but he's always moved this way, right? So he said, if something happens to him where he can't fight anymore and there's some kind of brain damage or whatever, and it has happened with other fighters, like Gerald McClellan, Google it if you don't know him, where are they now? They're going to say, oh yeah, my condolences and I hope you feel better, I hope you do better or whatever, and they're going to go on and look to enjoy themselves and have their own bit of pleasure, and they're not thinking about you. Not to say that people are bad and they don't mean the nice things that they say, but the meaningful connections is where it's at. Because when you begin to learn how to prune off those ones that are just hanging on for whatever reason, you might have a little notoriety, they want to be known to know you, or I don't know what it is with certain people sometime, right? Or they think you're going places, so let me hit you on right now. And when it seems like you're not going there, don't want to go there, you're not pursuing that no more, they don't want to be around you no more, right? You got to be happy with bare minimum with the people who really mean something to you. Even if it's just 2 or 3 people, or just one, or even just yourself. Love yourself, take care of yourself. Be your own cheerleader. Encourage yourself, rest yourself. Replenish yourself. Think about yourself. It's not selfishness. The solitude is very healing. Number 13, choosing simpler lives. Some black men leave high-stress jobs, move to smaller towns, or pursue passions instead of chasing society's version of success. Though this may seem like falling behind, those choices allow men to live freer, happier lives with purpose and satisfaction. Woo! It's so good to get out of America. That explains me to a T. Some people think, why would you want to go there? But like I said here, those choices allow men to live freer, happier lives with purpose and satisfaction. Doesn't mean you have to leave and move to Ghana, West Africa. You might stay in the city you're in and just prune off other aspects of your life where you live different. Or maybe you will go to a smaller town where the rents are cheaper, the mortgages and houses are cheaper, and you can make money and balance your life. And those places are being squeezed out in America big time. Everything is getting squeezed right now. But the concept is still there, right? And that's very important, because if you're not living a simple life for yourself, who are you living your life for? If it's complicated, is it complicated because it's you who demands the complications? Or is it somebody else egging you on to try to keep up with something or a standard that no longer serves you or never served you in the first place, right? If you can tighten your belt and sacrifice and feel a little more leeway, right? That's better. I enjoy the sunrise every morning. I get up, the sun wakes me up pretty much unless it's an overcast day. I go into one of the private balconies, strip off all my clothes and lay out. There's no part of me where the sun don't shine, and it feels good. And I'll go back to sleep for another hour in the sun. I'll take a little bit of tissue paper, right, and put it in my ears, because those flies, and you start smacking yourself. So when I do that, and I lay back, I'm good. And you get it when you want to. And you walk down through the house and you're butt-ass naked, and you can do that because nobody can see you. You feel free. No uniform, no restriction, no tie around your neck. No clock to look at and what, it takes time sometime, but you can get there. But many people live life with an ever-increasing set of stresses that they put on themselves, because the stress of that new car, the stress of those new outfits, the stress of that new jewelry is going to make me feel better. And in essence, it doesn't. True, simple. Simple. I already know what t-shirt and shorts I'm going to wear tomorrow. And I know my Crocs. I got a bunch of them I just washed off tonight. I'm going to slip my foot in there and just walk up. Keep a little lotion now, because things can look ashy. But other than that, you'll be good. Number 14, independence and self-mastery. This rebellion is about taking life into your own hands, not rebelling against others. Men give power by living for themselves, not society. True independence comes from peace, integrity, and freedom from external validation. I'm not trying to get validation from nothing external. I am who I am. I enjoy who I am. There's no pressure being me, and I'm not going to waste my time, right? The peace, integrity, and freedom from external validation. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Some people will say the same thing. I'm not trying to impress anybody either. But in their mind, they are. They're studying your face. When they buy the new car, they want to see if you're jealous. They want to see if you're impressed. They want compliments or whatever it may be. Something external that they adorn themselves with in their life, a possession they're going to die and leave with. I'm going to die and leave with me. You know what I mean? I'm going to be there at the point of my leaving this earth. Nobody else is guaranteed to be there. That sounds gory, but you need to be your best friend, right? And that independence, self-mastery. You are going to be with you for every second of your life. Doesn't that mean something? Yeah, we have loved ones and we want to spend as much time as we can with them, but you are going to be with you every second of your life. So why don't you sort of treat yourself a little better? Treat yourself to something nice, simple. Not splurging thousands of dollars. And if you want to and you have the means to do so, other people try to get it from you. Why can't you do it for yourself? But then there's some people out here who get angry when you treat yourself nice, because those were the mooches that counted on you being nice and they can always get something from you. But then when their plans don't work out on your energy, they get pissed. Buy, go, be pissed. I'm going to enjoy what I earned. I am charitable when I see fit, but I'm nobody's fool. At this point now, at 62 years old, getting through all the traps and booby traps and haters and things in life, to get to this point, you better know I'm a champion. I know the ropes. You know what I mean? I don't know everything. But give yourself credit for even getting this far, no matter what age you are. Things I've been through and seen in close calls in my life, shoot, I can write a book. And I know many of you can do the same thing too. Number 15, life beyond the game. Life beyond the game. Life after stepping away is calm and full of small joys. A cup of coffee, a walk, or real conversations. For Black men, this is about reclaiming their time in peace. It's realizing that personal freedom, not status or applause, is the most important victory. Personal freedom. Tomorrow, I can do whatever it is that I want to do. If I want to stay home and be funky until 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon before I take my shower, so be it. If I want to get up early and shave like I always do, I still shave every day. I love to be clean cut and get out early. Even if I'm a little tired, just, man, look, the sun didn't come up yet. I'm out here with the birds. I can do that. Personal freedom. If I want to go down to the bookstore in Accra or the art supply store and talk to other artists, I can do that. If I want to sit down in Osu or East Legon with my camera, not the one I'm looking at now, but my little action camera, take pictures and take video, I can do that. I can go way out in the backyard where I see nothing but bushes and trees and stuff and nothing else. And stare up at the sky. Just got to watch out for the snakes. I can do that. Whatever your idea of personal freedom is, enjoy it. The quiet rebellion of Black men in America is one of the most important social shifts happening today. It's not about giving up. It's about taking life back, protecting mental health, and creating meaning on your own terms. By embracing solitude, redefining success, and living authentically, Black men are carving out lives of peace, purpose, and independence. This movement reminds us that the real strength is not about proving the world wrong. It's about proving to yourself that your life, your peace, and your choices matter above all else. And that's the real deal. It gets no better than that. To be at peace with yourself, to be calibrated and in balance, and always having a balance no matter where the waves goes, like the surfer who rides the wave. He's just balancing the energy thrown at him. He's not giving off energy, trying to stay in control in a world that's in chaos. That's why I said in the title, the quiet withdrawal of Black men away from the chaos. Because we're drawn into a lot of things. Because people have these expectations of us, low expectations, high expectations, stereotypical things in their mind. Like I said, certain prejudices, the racism, judging you on your appearance. I mean, I've walked down the street sometimes and see little old ladies walk across and clutching their bags. They weren't even so old either. Some of them look like me. I'm not saying that I look like a woman. I'm saying as far as my race is concerned. Then later on, you're sitting next to them on a bus, or they see you as the bus driver, which I used to drive a bus, right? In Orlando, Florida. And they see you and they recognize you for being that guy that they were scared of, but they see the conversation that you're having with one of the passengers on a very deep and intelligent level, not loud, but they ear hustling like, wait a second, I was scared of this guy. It's their loss when they assume certain things about you. You don't have to prove yourself to people, just be and be happy in your own skin. It takes a lot of energy to run behind people. Oh, I'm a good person. I'm not a stereotypical thug. Oh, I take care of my children. I'm employed and I have my own side hustles, legit, legal, that I do. Please, I'm different than the other ones. If their minds are messed up, so be it. There's a lot of gossip that goes around about a lot of us out here. And there's damn sure a lot of gossip that goes around about me. I'm not trying to prove it wrong. You take away the power of the gossipers by not trying to run behind to prove that what they said is wrong, because in trying to prove what they said is wrong makes what they said seem true because you're working hard to prove against it. If you want to think that, then I am that. I am not running you down for something that's not true. Over time, you'll see what I'm all about. And I don't care whether you learn it or not. I can't care. It's not going to matter 2 years from now. It's not going to matter 5 years from now. You continue to live your life. So you got the gossipers out there that have to constantly get something to keep going with you. If you snatch it, if you build that wall between you and them, they can't even see you to find something to talk about. The next time the people that they talk about, so what's the latest on the person you were gossiping about? I don't have nothing to say. I don't see them. See? Now they stupid. Now they look stupid. And they may turn around and say, I was in the supermarket checkout line behind them, and they were having the most wonderful conversation with the person in front of them. It didn't seem like they were so bad the way you say. And then the facade falls, and they realize, wait a second. These people ain't really no good. Starve them. Don't worry about them. The truth comes out. And people will start to look at the ones who are pushing the other stuff on you. A lot of times we worry about what people, I don't care what people say. I know who I am. I know what I do. I know the energy that I put out into the world through my hobby and the pursuits. And I'm very happy with myself. These people who do those types of things and run their mouth so much, they're not happy with their lives. So they have to chop you down ahead of time before the world discovers how good and how great you are at the things and attributes you have on the inside, which would show them up because they know they don't have anything on the inside. And when they're gossiping and wasting time, you're producing every single day, producing. I'm not looking sideways. I'm like that horse that has blinders on. I'm focused on my goals. See, tonight, I can sleep so deep because even if I didn't do this one particular presentation, I'm happy with what I did. Wonderful show with Brother Neil Frazier, a.k.a. Metamorphosis. I love to be a part of these shows and add my little 2 cents in, but to listen to the teachings that his research and experience has brought him. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be on the Muslim street with guys who are history, walking, talking history in the present day Malcolm X's, the present day revolutionaries that's keeping it alive, the people I've met through them. I couldn't do it by myself. See? So I have no time for the other stuff that's going nowhere. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this down right now. It's been wonderful. I'm glad I did this, and I hope you received this well. And we're going to come back with more tomorrow. I'm crazy. I might lay down for now and get up and do another one, right? No, I'm not going to do that. I got to write and jot down some notes early tomorrow when I eat breakfast, and I'll come with something relatively early. And I think the 5-hour difference is an advantage because by the time, say for example, there's no pressure on me, because if I put up something 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that's 9 o'clock on the East Coast. It gives me time. And that's why sometimes I don't do things extra late anymore, because of the 5-hour thing. If I was to put up something 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast, that means I have to put it up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That ain't going to work out here. So anyway, salute to my brothers. Much love to my sisters. Lance@LanceScurv.com. That's my email. Reach out to me anytime with the topics you want to speak about. If you want to come on the show, and we can do an interview, you can show your face, you can hide your face, whatever. We can record conversations. We're going to be on the flow. I'm on the flow right now, and there's nothing stopping me. There's nothing in my way. It's like being in a race car on a straightaway, and you're sitting here going faster and faster and faster. And the road, it's a racetrack, so nothing's going to jump in your way, and there's no limit in sight, right? A plane that's working well, and you're going down the runway and just go up in the air, and you go to the clouds, and you feel free. And that's where I am now. So nothing can stop this high, because really there's nobody around me that's in an antagonistic way that can even do so. And if they were, they'd get this. Really and truly, they'd get this. I'm not advocating violence, but there's a lot of ways to give them this. And if they want this for real, put your hands on me. I might be the age that I am. I don't have anything to prove, but I still have a little bit of juice in my fruit. And I'm not a victim. I don't have a victim mentality. No. You want some, you got to bring it. If you want some, you got to bring it. I ain't gonna say the ASS word, but if you want some, you got to bring it. Because I'm gonna defend my peace all the time. Protect your peace at all times. That's what I understand, and that's what I know, and I hope you got something from this. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. I still got work to do to get this up, and we're gonna do it again tomorrow. LanceScurv out. Much love. Peace.